All right, so I gotta learn how to do this, y'all. Oh, I think we have her here.
Hey, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm late. I was running late from another meeting. I was like, I gotta go. It's already 11:02. How are y'all doing today?
Good. How are you, darling? I said, oh, but she must be
Wonderful.
under the weather, so we're gonna keep going.
I took my medicine. I got my airborne, so I'm here.
Jesus, well, we
I am
see.
here. I'm loving the whole new link up with Lineka vibe and all this other stuff. It's serious out here.
I know. I'm trying to. I just said. I after I realized that my mic was off. I just said I kind of like this new vibe that we're going with this whole podcast. I see what God is doing, and so this is a whole faith moment, right? Because I'm like this walking through this. I don't have a whole sheet saying, look, do this, do that. So I'm just like, all right, God, I see this, so let me do that. So yay, I'm excited that you're here. I hope that you feel better, sis.
Yes, I will. I took some medicine. I'm good to go. My voice
Okay.
might sound a little crazy, but I was like, today is work day. Tomorrow I'll rest, and I'll rest the whole weekend. So we good to
Right.
go.
Okay. Well, listen, I went this morning to go back to the other podcast, the other show that we had together, and I picked up a couple of things, and I said, "Ooh, we need to talk about that a little bit more." Let me find my notes, right? Let me find my notes. I was trying to get it together. Oh, now my phone want to act funny. All right. Okay, there we go.
Dog out real quick because she was making noise. I was like, "Ooh, can't have that while we on the podcast."
She said she want to go out the door for a little while. All right. So hey y'all, I'm sorry I didn't even welcome everybody. Welcome to Link Up with Lineka. It's your girl, Coach Lineka Michelle, the visual brand architect. Listen, this is a dream that has been a part of mine that it's exciting to unfold. So thank you for being here. Coach, I had your whole spiel together, right? Your whole bio. Let me see if I can pull that back up.
You good? This ain't my first time. It ain't my last.
Right. This is not her first time here. If y'all have not, y'all got to go catch the replays because Coach Natalie be dropping the nuggets on us. So if you have not followed her, go follow her because she's simply amazing at what she does. Oh, okay. Hey, sis. Hey, I see some comments. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so we're gonna dive into it because, like I said, I went to the last one that we had, and the last one was a heavy hitter. We did it straight in 30 minutes, and I hope we could do the same thing at 30 minutes again. Sorry for the noise if y'all can hear the noise. It had to disappear for a second. So you said in the last one, Coach, you gave us a lot of things to take home and digest and marinate and all that good stuff. And that's kind of what I've been doing, right? Because I'm back in the book of Genesis again. And I'm realizing that God created in the midst of the confusion and in the midst of him being confused or really not knowing what to do, he got clarity. And so we as humans, we never pick that habit up. Right. And so even in the midst of us building a brand, there's a lot of us who love what we do, right? But we don't know how to show up because we think that we automatically need to have a strategy. I don't want to repeat the same thing, but sometimes repetition is good for us, right? So I was thinking we need to show up and be you. You also had said, just be you, right? And it's so true because I always repeat the statement, and I need to include it in my statement when I'm introducing myself. You are your brand, If you don't show up as you for your brand, nobody can come and be attracted to you. So with that being said, we are always evolving and becoming who we are. I've learned that, okay, yeah, I don't know all the words, you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna play it off. I'm gonna make y'all laugh because I don't know the word. I'm not gonna continue to beat myself up about something that's small where I know God can continue to still drop the nuggets in the midst of. I don't want us to get hung up on the fact that I don't want to look a certain way. I don't want people to judge me a certain way, but I'm at a stage, Natalie, if I can be honest, I don't give a darn what people say or think about me. You know what I'm saying?
At this point.
At this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, just be you. So that just kept ringing in my spirit. But I also wanted to talk about the create through chaos, through clarity. What do you have for us, Coach?
So I love that Genesis 1, because I remember God telling me a while back that everything that we need is in the beginning. And so I had been studying Genesis for quite some time, and it wasn't really until last time that we spoke that it dawned on me that when God spoke, there was chaos, right? And it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless, empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So I don't want people to think like God was confused or he didn't recognize that there was chaos, but this is the order in which we create, right? We're going to create a thing, and then out of the thing that we create, there's going to be chaos, there's going to be confusion, there's going to be things that are not in particular order. But then after that, we can decide to put the things in order. So just looking at how God did everything in the beginning, and we're made in God's image and likeness, we see that there is chaos and confusion in the beginning. Like when he created the heavens and the earth, he created it and it was formless. It was empty. It was dark. There was chaos going on, and his Spirit was hovering over the chaos. And then he said, let there be light, right? And the clarity came out of his mouth. He spoke the clarity into existence. He spoke the I like to call it separation. He separated the day from the night. He separated the waters from the land. He did all of that with his mouth. And so we're expecting that when we begin to create a thing. So take our marriages, right? We expect that when we create marriage, when we come into a covenant with our husband, that things are going to be perfect and things are going to be wonderful. And then chaos ensues and you're like, what is going on here? Instead of repeating the chaos, instead of saying this will never work out, I thought I was going to be in a marriage that's going to be wonderful and lovely, we need to begin to speak life into it. We need to begin to speak light into the situation. Same thing with our businesses. We signed the LLC and then now we're confused as, okay, so who am I supposed to be talking to? Who am I supposed to be? Where are the clients coming from? We supposed to begin to speak that into our businesses instead of saying this business is never going to work. God called me to, be a 6-figure business owner, and I see no clients here. Nobody's coming to me. Nobody's buying what I have to offer. Well, maybe the offer is still formless. Maybe the offer is void of something. Maybe it's time for us to speak light into that situation and separate what is good from what is not good. But we think that clarity comes before the chaos, and it does not. The chaos must precede the clarity. The darkness must precede the light. The Bible says that evening and then morning was the first day. We think it's morning and then evening just because in our society, we say the day begins when the sun rises. But in ancient times, in Hebrew times, the day began when the sun set. The day began in darkness and then it ended in light. So we have to now retrain ourselves to think when it comes to branding and when it comes to clarity, that there's going to be chaos first before we have the clarity. There's going to be darkness first before we have the light, and be okay with the darkness. Be okay with the confusion, because that means it's going to end at some point. The day is going to, the light is going to come at some point. The clarity is going to come at some point. But I have to be willing. I told one of my clients this. You have to be willing to sit in the tension of not knowing how it's going to work out. I'm okay at this point in the game. I'm okay with the tension. I'm okay with the things not working out, because I always know that that precedes the end result, which is always, always, always God's going to work things out.
Right. That's good that you said that, because I wonder, Coach, do you think that we might have some type of tips to help the people understand that it's okay? Like, what can we do to help? Because there might be somebody out there that might be like, I don't feel like it should be okay. But are there tips? Do you think there's some tips that we might can share to help them understand that it's got to be chaos before the clarity, and understand, and, you know, I hear that song again, bust a move. You still got to bust a move, right? For you to get the clarity. But I wonder if we can share some tips, because I know there's some folks that might be stuck right there in that spot, right? Where it's, why does it have to be chaos? You know what I'm saying? Why can't it be clarity, clarity, clarity? Or yeah, clarity, clarity, clarity. I'm just thinking, because I just hear that somebody might be stuck right in that spot where, how come it has to be okay? Can you talk about that just a little bit?
The only thing I can think about now is, okay, if there's always clarity, 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 then where's the room for the entrepreneur? What does an entrepreneur do? The job of an entrepreneur is to solve problems. Without problems, we will have no job. So you're saying, if you say, why should there be any kind of confusion or chaos or any problem, right? Then that means you're taking jobs away from not only yourself, from other people as well, who are positioned to solve a problem. An entrepreneur, the job of an entrepreneur is to solve a problem that currently exists or will exist in the marketplace. Without chaos, without confusion, without all of that, there are no problems for the entrepreneur to solve. So if you don't want to have a job, then just go with clarity all day long, right?
Whoops. Well, you said it. I didn't. I'm going to let that be on you.
But think about it, Coach Lineka. If I didn't have a problem with my branding, why would I need to hire you? If I was always in clarity with my branding, if there was never any confusion, if I was always attracting the ideal client, why would I need to hire a visual brand architect? I wouldn't need to. And there would be no need for connection. We would all be isolated individuals doing our own thing. And how can we make money if we're isolated individuals? How can we make money if we don't have problems to solve? How can we connect with other people if there's nothing to connect us? So we always look at the problems as something, as a negative thing. And God never said that those problems were negative. He never put a connotation on those things. We are the ones, human beings are the ones that did do that. I remember, what was it? There was something that I was looking up and God was like, you think that that's a bad thing. I never said that that was a bad thing. He was like, you put a negative connotation on that word. I never did. He was like, I see it as what it is. And so we have to start seeing problems as what it is. Problems are not problems that we're supposed to be muddling through. Problems are bread. Problems are money. Money. Yeah. That's our money. Goliath wasn't a problem, so to speak. Goliath was the next step for David to becoming king of Israel. So it's like we're looking at it as something to avoid, and it's just like, no, these problems are not something to avoid. These problems are something to pursue, so that we can get to the next level, so that we can get the finances that we've been crying to God about. So I want to make 6 figures, and God puts problems in your lap. Right? We're crying about making 6 figures, and God says, here's the problems so that you can make the 6 figures. And then we say, I don't want to solve those problems. I want to be clear. And God's like, but clarity is knowing that the problem is your money. The problem is your finances. All you have to do now is sit and figure out how to solve the problem so that the people will pay you the money.
So I hear we need to sit and figure it out. That means we need to slow down, because I have a habit of just going through. And it's amazing because I've been in business for 20 years and I see the same problems, right? But for the last 4 years, God has slowed me down to actually be intentional, to watch what I'm doing, watch these certain people, you know what I'm saying? And to actually solve the problem. Just do not go through the emotions. Do not go through the problems. You got to really sit down. And that's why I love a good journal. I got journals all over the place. You hear me? I got like 5 of them right here sitting next to me, because I've learned that I got to pick this journal up and realize, oh, wait, yes, I don't like going through this issue, but there's got to be a reason. Now I know that the reason is because of my brand, because of who I am. So now I'm going to sit down and be intentional and write out this problem. It's like math. I don't like math, and I know I got the math guru over here. I know I had to sit down and figure this problem out. And if I don't want to sit down and figure it out, I could do it. I could do it and cheat my way out of this, and then fail and repeat it again because I cheated. Or I'm going to write this down and I'm going to study it. So then that way, when it comes again, I'm going to pass it with flying colors because I did the work. I didn't cheat to do the work. I did the work. I got you. I hear you.
That's good. So I love that you brought up the problems and how writing it down. So as a math teacher, that's what I would tell the kids. Write out the formula, write out the problem, and then put the numbers into the formula the appropriate way. And a lot of times, if they would skip that, I could go back and see, okay, I can't help you. If you skip the whole problem, the whole formula, I can't help you. But if you work the thing out, right, and you work out each step, I can see in what step that you made a misstep, right, or miscalculation. I can tell you, oh, okay, it's not that you don't got it right. You actually know what you're doing. You just put this number in incorrectly. This number is supposed to go here. This number is supposed to go there. The same thing when it comes to the creation process, where a lot of people are trying to skip steps. They're trying to skip the chaos and moving right into clarity, but it cannot happen without the chaos. That is the steps, and God outlined it in his word in Genesis chapter 1. Create, chaos, clarity. He made the steps out in his word. So we're expecting to jump over the chaos, jump over the problem, and get to a solution. But what is a solution without a problem, right? When we were working it out in math class, you can't have the solution X equal to without a problem. And on top of that, you can't solve the problem without a formula. So you need a formula, you need a problem, and then you can get to the solution. But people want to skip steps. They want to get all the way to the end result. They want to make the 6 figures, and you don't realize the 6 figures comes after solving the problem. It comes after having the formula. It comes after sitting with it for a minute. Because if you sit with it for a while, you'll know not only one way to solve a problem, because as a math teacher, I know several different ways to solve the same problem. And all the several ways that I know, I have these genius students that will come and be like, oh, I found a whole new way, Miss Martin, to solve a problem. Like, wait a minute, you did what? You show me how you did that. Because they understand the process. We cannot skip the processes. You want to brand with clarity, you can't skip the process. You cannot skip the fact that you're going to have to sit with chaos. You're going to have to sit in confusion for a little bit. And it's okay. So the one thing we have to recognize, if we want to do tips, because you give a great tip. You said slow down. I love that. You definitely need to slow down. Slow down in the problem. Slow down in the problem. Feel it. Hear it. Understand it. Know it. Know what the problem is. When Goliath came at the Israelites, he came for 40 days. They understood what they felt like with Goliath's taunting. God didn't let Goliath come one day and then David showed up. It was 40 days that he came taunting them day and night. They understood what it felt like to be taunted by the Philistines. Can you imagine this big old giant coming taunted for 40 days? And David finally shows up and says, how dare you let this uncircumcised Philistine do y'all like he doing y'all? They knew what it felt like to be afraid for such a long time. But we only expect it to happen one day or 1 minute or one moment, and that's it. If you are not familiar with the problem, how do you know what it takes to solve it? How do you know what your client feels like to be in it if you have not sat with the problem? How can you empathize? How can you give the messaging that is accurate to what they're thinking in their mind if you have not sat in the problem and thought the same thoughts, right? So we can't skip it. We can't accelerate it. We have to do, as Coach Lineka says, slow down.
Slow down. Slow down. And that's a pause on purpose. From one of my old coaches. Slow down. I wrote that in the chat for all of us to see. Listen, I understand that. I understand the slow down. I don't like it, but I understand the slow down. And that's where we have to just learn that, good things happen to those that wait, right? Good things happen when you grow and slow down. I don't want nothing fast. I feel like when it's fast, that means it's going to go by fast, right? But I feel like if it's set and marinate, that's like some good chicken, right? Let it sit and marinate, right? In the seasoning. And just get all tender and all that good stuff so you can taste all the flavor when you finally cook it. That's how we have to think about ourselves when it comes to this whole branding thing. Yes, we want the clients. Yes, we want to, do what we love. But slowing down and letting God work it out through us is the most important thing in your brand. Listen, I don't know why God keeps saying that, slow down. Like, we really got to get that and let that settle in our spirits at the end of the day, because in the midst of us slowing down, the thing is, we're going to have to learn how not to compare ourselves to the people that we watch. I'm going to say that. I'm going to keep saying that because this was me. I was always comparing myself. I was always on social media looking at the people that I looked up to, right? I had to unfollow them again recently, you know what I'm saying? And say, okay, this is your race, Lineka. You know what I'm saying? And I just, believe it or not, I didn't know that people were out here buying their followers. I didn't know that was a thing until I was in somebody's clubhouse the other day and I heard that people were out here buying their followers.
Wow. I didn't know they still did that.
I worked hard to get these 3.5 people to follow me. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me my gurus that I've been following might have bought because they wanted a speedy thing? Yes, I've been in business as long as I've been in business, but it's taken me this route because I had to pause. I had to learn how to slow down. And in the midst of me slowing down, God had to rewrite my whole brand so I can understand and really study my clients. Like, I understand why it's hard to get in front of the camera. Hello, look how long it finally took me to go live. I was insecure about the way I talk. I was insecure about, my gap teeth. So I understand my clients when they come see me. You know what I'm saying? Gap and all, I'm in here. Like, skin color don't even bother me. Like, all the little things that you think that you know, I always hear my sisters be like, your skin's so pretty, your hair is this. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all don't understand what I got to deal with. I deal with all these insecurities. So when I learned how to deal with it and I wrote it down in the midst of me slowing down, I can show up for my clients and let them understand. I get it. While we get these double chins when we get older, you know what I'm saying? Don't put this in the camera. I got it. I learned how to pose. You know what I'm saying? I learned about these the ham hocks under our arms so when you slow down and understand your clients, you'll make your six figures. I could have made the six figures last year. And let's just be honest. Yes, I've been in 20 years, but these last 5 years, I've been in it. I've been very intentional about being slow down and letting me get marinated by God. I had to get re-seasoned. He had to add a little bit more sauce to my secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. But I see now. I see why. And I have to tell myself it's a day-to-day walk. I have to constantly say, slow down, Nika. Slow down, Nika. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get there. It didn't take. I don't want to be the COVID millionaires because none of them are in business now this year. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, yep, I want to be seasoned. Okay.
That's so good. That's so good. I want to be seasoned. Slow me down. That is so good. Man, everything about what you just said was just so amazing because you were like, I got to slow down to really feel and see and understand what my client was going through. And that's what's going to make me the six figures. Yes. Being connected to my people on a totally different level, that when I speak from my heart and my being, they are automatically connected to my voice because they know that this is the real me. They know that I know them. They know that I understand them. Shoot, I've been who you are. And because I know who you are, you can be who I am.
Yes.
But I had to slow down to feel it. You know, we love to negate our emotions because we don't got time to feel all of this. We don't got time to cry. We don't got time to, you know, be sick. Like I was trying to say for the last couple of days, you don't got time to be sick. But you know what God did? Because God knew I was going to be sick. I worked on Sunday. I don't hardly ever work on Sunday. But I said, I'm going to work on Sunday because I want to. I don't know what made me work on Sunday. I just told my husband, I decided to work on Sunday. And I was like, I'm going to be prepared for the Super Bowl because we had a nice little Super Bowl party. Mm-hmm. But I worked on Sunday and I was able to, because God set me up ahead of time, not have to work on Tuesday and Wednesday because I could not physically show up in the business on Tuesday and Wednesday. And yesterday I was like, oh, thank God I worked on Sunday because I'm not behind. I'm not behind. So you slowing down, for all of y'all who are on the live, you slowing down is not going to slow you down in the business because God has already prepared for you to be ahead of the game or even on time when it comes to it. I thought I would have lost time, but God said, no, boo-boo, work on Sunday because you're going to be sick on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
He had already knew.
He already knew.
He had already knew. We just got to catch up to him. That's all. He had already knew, and we had to catch up to him. We be fighting it, but if we could just let go, we got some control issues. But I don't want to go. I don't want to take up too much of your time too, because I remember what you said too, Coach.
Yes, we're gonna be back though.
Okay. All right, y'all. She's got to get ready to go. And we'll be back. Right. We'll be back. Probably I think in another week or two. I had to look. So. But be scheduled. Be back here on Tuesday, y'all. Hope y'all got some good stuff. Remember to slow down. Okay. Yeah. Slow down and be seasoned. Like y'all said, I see y'all with make me juicy, Lord. Lord Jesus. Lord,
That's
No, who was that? Yes, Ebony. Talking about make me juicy, Lord. Yes, make us juicy, okay? All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all go be blessed on today, but remember to slow down and catch me here next Tuesday. We have another one. Ooh, heal in your brand. Oh, yes. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings.